How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Patriot DIY channel. Now this video is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do here on the channel, but I came across something that I really like and I think you guys are going to like it too. So in this video we're going to be taking a look at the HovAlpha fat tire e-bike from Hovsco. All right, guys, now I've been mildly interested in e-bikes for a while now. The problem with most of the ones that I had seen up until now is that the design of a lot of them is honestly a little bit nerdy, and it always seemed like the best ones were way too expensive. But then I came across the HovAlpha fat tire e-bike from a company called Hovsco. And honestly, without doing any riding or anything like that, my first impression was, man, this thing looks cool. Now, I think what I like most about this e-bike, aside from just how cool it looks, is that this is designed for both on-road and off-road with these massive 26-inch by 4-inch wide tires. Now, this thing has a lot of really impressive specs and features, and I'm going to get in here and tell you all about that. We're also going to do a little bit of riding, and I'm going to show you some accessories that I think go really good with this. But before we do that, if you haven't done it yet, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell, and give me a thumbs up. Now, while you're watching this video, if you decide you want to get a HovAlpha for yourself, I will have a link in the description below. That'll get you $100 off your e-bike. The HovAlpha comes in a couple different versions. This is the step over style, so you can see it has the bar here across the top. They also have a step through model that's a little bit easier for shorter people. It does not have this bar at all, so you can just step right through. They also make this in both the gunmetal gray that I have here and an army green color. So let's get in here and take a look at some of the features and specs of this e-bike. All right, guys, so again, this is the HovAlpha long-range fat tire e-bike from Hovsco. This particular model has some knobby off-road style 26-inch by 4-inch wide fat tires. So it's going to be great for any terrain, including on-road, off-road, trail riding, beach cruising, and even mountain biking. Now, this bike offers a ton of power with a 1300 watt peak and 750 watt sustained brushless motor. This thing has a ton of torque, which makes that all-terrain or hill climbing and things like that quite a bit easier. This also has a listed top speed of 28 miles an hour, which is pretty good, but we're going to talk more about that in just a minute. Now, one of the best features about this bike is the fact that it has a torque sensor with pedal assist. So when I start to pedal, if I just want to cruise a little bit and I'm pedaling nice and slow, the motor is going to assist you, but as you begin to pedal faster, the motor assists you even more. So it measures the amount of power that you're putting into the pedals, and it'll increase or decrease the assistance based on your pedaling power. Basically what this means is it's going to provide a smoother acceleration, it's going to be better for hill climbing, and it's going to be a lot more energy efficient. All right, let's go up to pedal assist 5. This hill right here is about a 45-degree incline. It's a very steep hill. And on pedal assist 5, it's no problem at all to get up that hill. Now, it does also have just a regular throttle, so you can press that throttle and it's going to go solely under motor power and you don't have to pedal at all. So really, having the torque sensor gives you the best of both worlds, because we have the pedal assist that's going to be more like a regular bike riding experience, but with some assistance. Then we also have the option of just going all throttle and no pedal, more like a motorcycle riding experience. The HovAlpha has a 48 volt, 20 amp hour Samsung or LG lithium battery. So this is a really big, really high quality name brand battery that really makes this bike special. This is a much bigger battery than what you get on a lot of comparable e-bikes on the market. Now, the battery is removable, and you can see just how huge this battery is, which is a good thing. Now, you can remove this battery to charge it, or you can charge it directly from the bike, however you want to do it. But the battery does have some features of its own. If you look here on the bottom, it has a nice long LED light with a couple different settings, so that could come in handy. This is a 960 watt hour high capacity battery that gives you a little more performance and a really long battery life. Hovsco boasts that you can get 60 to 80 miles on a single charge. To me, that is crazy. That is a lot of riding without having to stop and recharge. Now, obviously, your battery life is going to be dependent on the type of riding that you're doing. So if you're using the pedal assist on one of the lower settings, obviously your battery life is going to stretch a lot longer than if you're on level 5 top speed using just the throttle. This bike has a 450-pound capacity, so really pretty much anybody could ride this bike with no issues. That also means that you can carry a lot of cargo. So one of the best things about having a bike like this for me is the ability to carry cargo. And that 450-pound capacity means that you can carry a lot of gear with you on this, whether it's just going to pick up groceries or going camping or hunting or anything like that. Now, as far as suspension, this bike does have adjustable front forks, so you can tune the stiffness in the suspension to match your weight and the terrain to make sure you have a nice, smooth riding experience. Now, there is no suspension in the back, but that hasn't really been a problem for me in my riding. You always have the option of adding like a suspension seat post or something like that if you did want some front and rear suspension to get that ride even smoother than it already is. So far, this thing has handled trails and bumps and stuff like that pretty easily. This bike does have 7 speeds with the Shimano 7-speed gear shift system. Now, if you really want to get the most out of the experience, you should connect to the Hovsco app. So you can sync your e-bike with the app to track information, register your warranty. You can also see your speed, your traveling time, trip odometer, things like that. That's also where you're going to unlock the top speed. So in its stock configuration, this is a Class 2 e-bike, which means the top speed is around 20 miles per hour. But using the app, you can unlock the Class 3 setting that's going to bump that top speed up to 28 miles an hour. I definitely recommend doing that. And I got to tell you guys, rolling at 30 miles an hour on a bike is awesome. Now, one thing that has kept me off of bikes in the past is just how uncomfortable the seat can be after a little bit of riding. Now, the seat that comes with the HovAlpha, it's pretty comfortable compared to other bikes I've ridden in the past. But for me, I wanted something a little wider and a little softer. So Hovsco does offer a much wider, much more cushioned seat with shock absorbers underneath it and all that good stuff. So I did remove the stock seat. That was really easy to do. There's just a quick release lever here and you can lift this right out. But switching to that bigger seat was definitely a plus for me. Like I said, it wasn't bad before, but it's honestly a pleasure now. Now let's just do a quick walk around of the bike, starting at the handlebars. Has some really nice, comfortable hand rest here. You can see how it kind of flares out to rest your hand on. I like that nice rubberized coating on here. Nice high quality front and rear brakes on both sides. And right here are your controls. So you have your plus and minus for adjusting the pedal assist up and down. This button here is going to turn your headlight on and off. This is your on-off button. This is also going to toggle the display options on the display screen here. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And then down here on the left side is your thumb throttle. Now, this took a little bit of getting used to. I'm used to riding four-wheelers where the throttle is over on the right side. But that didn't take long. This is really nice and comfortable. It also has a little bit of a rubberized pad here. Let's take a look at the display here. First, I really like that Hovsco has this digital display on here. A lot of the cheaper e-bikes don't have this, but it is nice to be able to see your speed and all your settings. Now, if you are seeing this blinking a little bit, that's just because of the frame rate of my camera. To the naked eye, this looks perfect. So up here at the top, you have your battery level. There are 5 bars. You can see I'm at 3 now, so it's not fully charged. Down here is your pedal assist setting. So at 0, it's just like a regular bike. You're not getting any assistance from the motor. If you hit the plus button here, then you can go up to pedal assist 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the highest, and that's going to give you the most assistance while pedaling. Right here you have your speed, and then down here at the bottom you have trip. So that'll tell you how far you've traveled on a specific trip. And if you hit your display button here, that'll toggle that over to your odometer. That'll give you your total distance ridden on this bike. Now over here on the right side, you're going to have a paddle here and a paddle here. That's going to be your gear shift up and down. And you can see here this display tells you what gear you're at. We have 1 through 7. Moving around here to the front, you have your headlight. Now the headlight is not super impressive. You're not getting a crazy spotlight here, but it is better than nothing and it works pretty good for what it is. Now I gotta mention this, the Hovsco logo here on the front looks super cool, and I didn't even notice until my 7-year-old daughter pointed out that, Daddy, you have a unicorn on your bike. So she thought that was pretty cool. And right here is what really drew my eye the most to this bike. Look how beefy these tires are. It honestly looks like motorcycle tires. Nice fat knobby tires. We got 4 inches wide and 26 inches tall. These are just some really beastly tires. They're gonna ride really nice. It's also gonna help when you're going off-road. Right here you have your adjustable shocks. You can see you have adjustments here and here. The bike also comes with fenders, which I really like. These are like a plastic polymer fender, but I really like that it has these on here. You got front and rear. And not only are they nice and sleek and look pretty good, but it's also going to help out when you're riding in wet or muddy or dirty conditions. It's going to help keep you and your bike clean. I just love the angles of the frame. I love how sleek this gunmetal gray is. Kind of a subdued logo there on the side. Back here on the back is that really high power, really efficient motor. Then you have your Shimano 7-speed gear system. And they do a really good job of covering all the details. You even have this little security bar to protect those important components if you were to crash or the bike knocks over or anything like that. Nice big disc brakes here on the front and the back. Does have an adjustable kickstand, which I never really thought about, but it makes sense that it's adjustable so you can adjust the lean on this thing. Here mounted underneath the seat, you have your tail light. The headlight is powered by the battery on the bike, but the tail light is not. This is powered independently with AAA battery, so you just hit the button to turn that on and off. Now, I initially was kind of disappointed that this wasn't hardwired in, but now it kind of makes sense to me because your tail light is something that you may want to relocate on the bike, especially since I added this rear cargo rack. The bike does not come with this, but Hovsco does offer this separately. It does have a weight rating of about 50 pounds. Seems super sturdy, super high quality, and I really like the idea of being able to carry some cargo on this thing. Hovsco does also offer a front basket that goes right here, and I definitely want that. It's out of stock right now, but I'll be getting that just as soon as it's available. Now, with that said, if I did have cargo here, you wouldn't be able to see the tail light. So it's really nice that you can unclip this and you could relocate it to back here if you wanted to. All right, guys, now as promised, I said there's a lot of really cool accessories that you can get to go along with this. So now let me show you what I got. All right, let's check it out. All right, guys, and I'm just gonna run through these real quick. I'm not gonna spend too much time on each one, but there will be a link in the description below for all this stuff. So I have a cell phone holder from Rock Bros. Then we have just a little storage bag here right on the top of this front bar. Has 2 compartments. And mainly what I keep in here is a power bank. What I like about this one is it has a retractable cord so I can plug in the phone, and then when I'm done it just retracts back into there, so that's pretty cool. Similar type of bag here in the triangle. Then of course a water bottle holder. Now this bag kind of gets in the way of the water bottle holder, but I'm not too concerned about that right now. Obviously need some kind of bike lock. I just keep that right here under the seat. And then back here on the back we have the pannier bags. Those are also from Rock Bros. I like these a whole lot. A lot of room down in here. They're really easy to attach. It just clips here onto the rear rack. Now obviously you can put anything down in here, but a couple things you always want to have is some type of air pump to air up your tires and some type of tool kit. Also have a cargo net here for if I want to strap something down to this rear rack. And then the cargo trailer. This thing is pretty cool. It's from Vivor. It's about 40 inches by 16 inches. You fit a lot of stuff in there, and what's really cool about it is the whole thing folds up and breaks down for storage, and it just mounts here to the rear axle. You really don't even notice that it's back there when you're riding. Obviously this doesn't stay on here, but if you ever do need it, it's cool to have, and you don't really even notice it's back there when you're riding. And then of course it's nice to have some type of carry rack so you can transport this thing if you want to take it camping with you or take it down to the beach or something like that. This is a really nice one designed specifically for e-bikes. It's from Yakima. It comes with a ramp for easily putting your bikes on and off of it, and it folds up nicely out of the way when you're not using it. All right guys, that is it for the HovAlpha fat tire e-bike from Hovsco. I've been really happy with this thing, guys. It's been a ton of fun riding this around, and I really love all the features of it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And don't forget guys, I will have a link to the HovAlpha in the description below. That link is gonna get you $100 off if you want to buy one for yourself. I'm also gonna have a link to all the accessories and everything that we talked about in this video as well. I know this was a little different than what we normally do, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. Thanks for watching guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.